Oh my goodness. Who is Blue? I don't know. Luna is here. Oh well, I know Blue. I'm so tired of you. You don't come in my room anymore. What is going on tonight? Black folks and us black folks. This is the second time I've been on the app in a while. I know. So I'll come in your room. I just haven't been on the app. I'll be listening on my burner while I'm working because I've been outside trying to get my shit for real. Not the burner, because somebody. Man, I was spinning the block on the burner because I am outside getting my shit together, trying to be productive. But look, I had to come to say this real quick. You can't apologize to these hoe ass, bitch ass, weirdo ass fuck niggas on this fucking app. You gotta put them in a small box with one stamp. You kick them the fuck on. Like, what the fuck? And all these packers in this room letting this motherfucker come in here and talk crazy like that?
Join on.
Y'all really let motherfuckers come in here and talk crazy like that? All these packers in this room. That's why I miss you so much, you know, because you always jump in.
If she let the replay play, it would have showed we talked to him after that. They stopped the replay right at the point where we stopped talking. Me and Just talked.
Oh, okay. Ain't no way they should be able to get that kind of shit off in the room without being made to feel the small little fucking piece of shit they are in that small little box they belong in. And that should be kicked to the curb. You don't place that outside on your front porch. Fuck that. And you definitely don't apologize to that fuck nigga. At all.
No, you don't ever apologize to him.
Talking about your apartment and all that shit is crazy as hell, man. These people on this app got no fucking life.
But at that point, we knew what he was doing. We just told her not to respond to him because he was trying to bait her in.
Yeah, he was definitely baiting. That's a fact.
That's what I'm saying. With them kind of people, you just remove them, put them in the audience. Just don't even talk to them. They're not even worth conversing with.
But you know what? I don't think he's capable of having a conversation to really validate his points if somebody systematically breaks it down. Like, you really have no points. You're just articulating bullshit that you've heard and repackaging it in more bullshit.
Which is why you just put him in the audience and don't talk to him.
Sometimes give him enough rope to dangle, man. I like to watch their feet kick while they.
Yeah, but he's not talking about anything. He was intentionally trying to be. Inflammatory. That's the reason why we just said don't talk to him. I give people the service by actually talking to them,
by giving them enough space to breathe.
Just don't even talk to them.
Yeah, he said some shit that should have. Yeah, his head should have been tore off. What are you guys talking about? It's a lot of self-hate, of self-hate just being spewed, man. Self-hate. Well, I don't know.
It's sure.
I don't come in here, I'm looking at the title, and then last week we had that conversation about how many black women Trump has dismissed from the government in high-ranking position, and here he goes again, another one. I mean, Trump has literally gotten rid of every black person I knew who was in leadership in government, in the federal government. He reassigned some to lower ranking positions, and he outright fired others he could. He doesn't want one black woman in any position. Wasn't that what the gerrymandering was about in Texas? Yeah, trying to get rid of Al Green and what's her name? The blue Jasmine Crockett. Yeah, I think that was more that than getting the seats. Because he wanted to get rid of Crockett. So, and he knew that she would always be reelected in her district. So this is like a backdoor kitchen table meeting that they had and said, oh, we can do this on the slick and plus get more seats. So that's what I think. And I was in a room, I don't remember whose room it was, but they were talking about the overall plan of this administration and connecting the dots. And I kind of stole that from them because there is a concerted effort to either eliminate or to devalue, and I think it's devalue more the black community because with the bail, no cash bail system, if you're marching, the RICO Act, deportation without due process, all that stuff is going to start manifesting itself once people start getting arrested, start lifting up their voice and lifting up their heads. And pretty soon, oh yeah, children being tried as adults. So if you put all that together, and also bringing the police or and the military into your communities, if you add all those elements together, you're fucked. No cash bail. Your kids are going to be, if they're out there marching, treated as adults or whatever they're doing. Because he said, oh, look at these gang of kids. No, no, no. It was kids out there. I played the quote. Kids were someplace out and about in D.C. And he said, look at these kids. And he goes, no, then he changed it into gang. Then he changed it into thugs. And then he said, once they saw the military or the National Guard, whatever, they ran back to where the hell they came from. It's like, this is where you talk about our children. I mean, no, and to me, I'm starting to feel it and understand that it's personal. It's personal. So if you add up, like, once again, backtracking, if you add all those puzzle pieces together and you put them in order, this is bad news for the black community. Period. Point blank. He doesn't like blacks, and he's showing you in roundabout ways how he's gonna dehumanize you, demoralize you, devalue you, and put you in, like you were talking about, boxes where you belong.
But this is not the only. Today, you guys listened to his speech today while his cabinet meeting, when he talked about how he's going to return education to the states. And obviously, when you look at the states and the cities, especially the blue cities and red states, they're going to seriously underfund schools in those cities. I mean, Trump is a concerted effort. I tell people like it was they started with first trying to devalue us in education. Lately, you know what meme I see circulating among the right wing? Memes about black women are not the most educated. Blah, 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 blah. Those have been just proliferating along the right wing. And I can always track to see what they're talking about, because when I see people that I know who are right wing who push this shit, what they're saying, and then you see the meme factories start making memes on this shit. And then that's how a lot of them actually get that information out there, memes. They share with their friends, they think it's funny, and that's how it just permeates through this sphere. And the thing about it is that people don't understand that the restriction of blacks at, say, Ivy League schools was done for one purpose. You know, because we could say that, hey, we went to your schools, we went to your best schools. Why shouldn't we have a seat at the table? But to deny black people access to those schools, now black people can say, well, I'm as equally as educated as you are. I went to the same prestigious school as you are. Why shouldn't I be able to apply for the same jobs? So now, and then in the same time, they were saying that HSBCU schools are undereducated black folks. They're not. You don't get a real education when you go to those schools. So one, they want to prevent us from going to the best.
Hey, what's up, Walter?
Hey, what's up?
Nothing. I'm just about to go sit in the sun. What are you doing?
Yeah, what's that interview I had with that guy?
It's with the college down in Normal. Oh, are you talking about the one on the YouTube now with George Deinhard?
No, the other guy, Benjamin.
Oh, that's coming up. That's in Normal, Bloomington Normal.
How big is that?
It'll be good press. It's worth it.
I mean, how many people look at that?
It doesn't matter. It gives me credibility because it's with a name brand publisher. So it'd be stupid for me not to go down there and get that publicity, because that's how I build my resume going forward, you know?
And what about, they could do interviews over the phone or what?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they want to, they want to get me cornered, put me in the booth on the college. And I'm like, haven't you guys heard of the fucking internet? You fucking Stugats. We got to be efficient here.
Stugats.
everybody's making alliances right now.
I'm about to gas up Aaron Delmar real good. I got a gas tank with me. I'm about to gas him up.
Yeah, about what?
Well, he got into an argument with Mark.
Yeah, when I heard that.
So I'm gonna overlay the audio of Aaron Delmar screaming on top of his images, and then everybody can hear what Aaron Delmar sounds like when he gets angry.
Yeah, how's that? Well, you know that digital stuff?
It's just filming. You're just overlaying audio with video. It's very easy. I'm gonna do it actually right now. I was gonna do it last night, but you reminded me. I gotta gas up Aaron Delmar for Mark.
And then what would that do? It will go angry, like, ah!
Yeah, when Aaron Delmar sees it, he'll have like a migraine and he'll be like.
They're nuts, man. Anything else is happening?
No. Got some paperwork I gotta do.
What's your stuff?
No, lawsuit against the Treasury Department. Scott Besson. My manager, she called me a whore, so I sued them.
Why you gotta send that?
I gotta send it by the end of the week.
What is it for?
It's a lawsuit against the Treasury Department. Scott Besson.
Why, he owes you money?
That's what I claim. I say he owes me at least 1 year's salary. I should have asked for 3 years of salary.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm gonna update the amount to $210,000 now that I think of it.
Well, that's nuts, isn't it?
It's not nuts. They got to get a law. They're legally required to give me an attorney and pay for it. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
That's the kind of rights you got when you're a government employee. You know, you are the government, so they give you the full service. They don't give a fuck how much it costs.
So what happened? You just...
Nothing. I'm filing a grievance for harassment.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's all law. It's lawfare. It's funny. They had books on it inside the office. I was like, you know what? I might need these.
That's nuts, actually.
These things happen all the time. People, you know how much Congress has paid out in sexual harassment lawsuits over the past 20 years? Like $1 billion. All right, well, listen, I'm going to send you the link to a room that I'm in right now because I'm recording it. So I will talk to you soon or see you in the room.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.
I paid my dues, but I had a family member just retired. She was the CEO of her chapter, a regional urban league, and so it's just in my family. It's like, hey, you're going to be active, and I don't know about everybody else, but there are regional, like Dr. H. was saying, and regional chapters. I just encourage people to reach out, and sometimes they may not be loud, but they are active.
And these organizations, you know, they are the people, and they can only do so much as they have the people power to do.
And listen, there's an error that has happened.
I haven't heard anything from them, though. I don't understand what we're saying. Because I just said what I said. What do you want to hear? I don't understand. What do I want to hear? I want to hear them say anything. It's like, have they said anything about what's... No, seriously. I mean, I know you guys... I'm being quite serious. I'm serious, too. I haven't heard nothing. The Urban League is very engaged in the lawsuits, as is the NAACP. They are very engaged in that action. So they have partnered with other groups to deal with that. And they're also engaged in trying to strategize private partnerships to create opportunities in the gap that's going to be made with all of this stuff that's happening with the federal government.
But they also can't do anything without money. So along with membership goes, along with the lack of membership comes a lack of funding. So people don't participate in them, they don't give them money because over time we have allowed, this goes hand in hand with a lack of education. This goes hand in hand with the being propagandized. We have examples of that on stage as we speak. People who have succumbed to the notion that these groups are old and that they don't serve a purpose anymore and that they're not as vocal, even though they're doing the real work. As Dr. A.G. has just so eloquently laid out, they do a lot of the work behind the scenes, and they do have people that come and speak on people's behalf. There have been instances where the NAA has supported Sabrina Fulton during the time when Trayvon Martin was killed. There's a lot of things that they do, and countless others after that. They were involved in Mike Brown in St. Louis. There's a lot of, if you're looking for things that they do publicly and visibly, they do a lot of different things. But we have to understand what they are and what their function is. They do exactly what they can do with the lack of membership and with the lack, because they're not funded well. They've not been able to evolve into the new time period.
I mean, this is the information age. I'm sorry, I'm a land. This is the information age. And there's a lot of ways to get, to reinvent your organization, if that's what you want to do, and get the word out there. I don't know what's going on, because literally, if you start asking people to get involved, if you start making yourself more visible and your message more clear, there's nobody. Never mind. Yeah, I'm gonna go mute.
I'm just saying, you're not wrong. You're on the right path, man.
One second, Quinn. I do think I would love to see them more visible, but they are absolutely taking steps to try to fight Trump. Like 1,000%. They're not inactive. They did file a lawsuit against the DOE, right, for cutting off the funding, right? And they really pushed back against DEI when that came out. We might not have heard about it because it wasn't as publicly broadcast, but they're actually doing the legal work. Like they're filing the lawsuits that actually contest the actions that Trump is taking right now. So it's not as publicized as we would like to see it, but they definitely are fighting Trump.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, they can't do that without new blood. Like, you're talking about people who were involved in the 80s who are now in their 80s. You need new blood. You need people who understand the importance of it. And it's not everybody, but they just don't have when people say that, they always look at them as eternal organizations who will continue to do the work no matter what. But we don't often understand that we are now the people who are supposed to be the people involved in that. And many of us are not.
And it's their charge to get, if they're 80, just like, oh my God, I don't want to have this conversation, but can I just say this part? Just like Maxine Waters, she's getting ready to, I guess, retire. I'm not sure when or how, where, but just like we're saying, you have to you're the emeritus, you have to bring people behind you, and you have to know how to get that done. That's their charge. It's not my charge. It's their charge. So let us know what you what's going on, what you need, what you want to do, whatever, and then I'll be there to support. But I don't have the expertise in this. I don't know the ins and outs of nothing of this. That's their charge to educate me.
Respectfully, though, the people that are in the NAACP and the Urban League, they're not all 80, right?
No, they're not at all.
I have three students who are a part of the Civil Rights Division, and they are the ones who do the legal cases. So not everybody is old. And sometimes you have to go to the place where the information is. Then end up, and somebody put something in the chat, and my comment was, clearly you don't know what these organizations are, what their purpose is, and how they work. Because the NAACP and the Urban League, they're not going to be blasting on Instagram. They're not going to be blasting on social media. They're going to put out informationals. They're going to put out updates, and that's how they work. There's a very narrow line. I didn't interrupt. There's a very narrow line that these organizations have to walk in doing the work that they do. And so I guess I guess I just don't get it, because they have a website that announces what they do, where they're appearing, what their conferences are, what their conventions are, what the projects are that they're working on. And like Quinn said, they ask for public donations to support their work. I don't know, and I will confess to a bit of, and I've said this before, like a bit of impatience when I hear, as I often do, I hear people talk about inaction when there is clearly action. And being uninformed isn't always the responsibility of the source about which you want the information. There's labor that goes into keeping oneself informed and active. And I just had this conversation today, and my comment was, get up and find out. You can find out. The information is out there, but sometimes you have to seek it. It's not just fall in your lap. So I admit my impatience around this, because this is something that I'm consistently confronting, and it's very aggravating. And I know.
And Dr. Ray, just to be clear.
Can I ask you, as an instructor, as somebody so these young people don't know anything about that?
That's not true. That is not true. College campuses have
can I say so?
NAACP sections. They have college division.
Not all college campuses. Not all.
Lisa, let me bridge
There's
the
not
gap
one on
between you
Cal
guys.
Berkeley. There's not. I'll shut up in a minute. I'll shut up in a minute, because I feel like I'm getting pushed back, and I welcome it. I don't have a problem with it. But every kid doesn't know about the NAACP, and it's not on every college campus. It probably is on a college campus. I'm not denying that, but I know the ones that I'm active on. I kind of look for these organizations. I want my kids to know. I want them to be involved. But that's not the case. So every college campus they're not on. I'm just asking, this the way we're in the society right now, with the way we disseminate information, you're saying that we need to get out there and find it out. But a lot of kids don't know where to go to find this kind of info. They don't know about none of that. SNCC, NAACP, Urban League. Am I wrong?
Yeah, you are wrong.
No, I could be wrong. Am I the only one who's wrong? You guys are not 17.
Can I just say this about
Miss,
the university?
you're right.
Respond to this about the university. Can I just respond to this? So you're correct. Every campus in the country doesn't have a chapter of every organization. You are absolutely correct. Most cities, if you are located near a major city, there is some arm of the organization that is present. My point, and this is what I actually tell students, that you have to go out and get active. And so it's not true that young people on college campuses are not engaged with these organizations. A lot of young people use these organizations to introduce them to leadership if they are interested in that sort of thing. So the campus orgs are their avenue for that. So a lot of these young people are active in campus organizations. And the social justice organizations are a very popular avenue for students. And this is across demographic, right? So at my institution, for example, the NAACP chapter was so active, they demanded a meeting with the university chancellor, and every month they met with the university chancellor to discuss what their issues were with the campus culture. So it's not fair to say that the young people aren't engaged. It's just not fair.
Well, I never said that. I said
you did. You said they don't know about it.
They don't. Ma'am,
I'm not saying that's not true.
So the people that you know, I don't know every student.
But Lisa, it's not just people that I know.
I'm talking about the people that I know, because that's my only resource. I cannot talk about people I don't know. I cannot talk about colleges I don't know.
Your population is smaller than mine.
Probably.
Yeah. because I advise organizations, and so I know how they coordinate across college campuses across the country. So there are very active young people. That's all.
And I'm aware of that, and that's what I'm trying to curate within my own situation. But I just admitted that I don't know everything, and I don't ever claim to know everything, and I don't want to, because at that point in time, then my time on this earth is over. But what I'm saying to you,
it's not about knowing everything.
No, I'm just saying, okay, let me go.
Let me say this real quick, right?
No, real quick. Like, yo, without
Hold on, John. That's a moderator talking.
Real quick. I hear both of their sides because I totally understand what Dr. AG is saying. They are active. They do have a Instagram with a couple million followers on there, right? I would love to see them I know they need a budget to do this, but have a budget to reach out to the influencers, because a lot of the times the young people are more in touch with, like, not just an isolated social media page, but they follow certain influencers, and if you can get them to reconvey that message, I think it would be heavily impactful. The Urban League last month did put out a state of an emergency PSA. It went out onto major news networks. They said we're under attack, right? They are part of the lawsuit against the DOE, along with the NAACP, that was filed in February, right? This hasn't been like big news because they don't want to highlight this in the news, but this is happening. So there is pushback. But on the other side, on the flip side, like what Lisa's saying, I understand too, like I would like to see them in more locations. I know they need funding to do so, and I know they're soliciting and looking for it, but you have to really go out there and actively look to support them, right? Because they don't have the funding that they need. There is no, like my daughter goes to UCLA, there is no NAACP chapter on that campus. None. Zero. Not even student rent. Nothing. Right? They only are listed as off campus. My daughter complains about that. So I see both sides of the coin.
Well, but go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, without young, like, new people that want to join the NAACP and all that, it would die. You need new blood in that. That's the truth. And then, you know what I mean? I raised my nieces in them. They're all college. They're getting their masters. You feel what I mean? So, like, you know what I mean? I went to school for a little bit. I got an associate. I just in the calculus. Like, I took statistics. I took all that. So, like, I'm just like, now I'm a little older. I'm just like, some of it didn't make any sense to me. I'm just like, what's the point? You know what I mean? So I'd rather just work, get a family, and raise them to be successful. Like, you know what I mean? I'm a man. Like, what's the point? What is the point of that?
That is what I've been asking this whole time. The reason why the NAACP, first of all, the NAACP never had to be on college campuses to be relevant. So people sought out the NAACP to be a part of it because of what we're experiencing now are younger people who some of your parents haven't explained to them the importance of the NAACP, and probably because you haven't seen the importance of the NAACP, and it's because people don't think it's relevant in its time, because you don't actually know the work they're doing. You're not seeing them on TV. You're not seeing, but you do see them. You just don't know that you're seeing them. I guess maybe that's not the best explanation, but they do very important work. They've been doing very important work. It's just when people think that they're not doing something according to whatever they think that their stance for activism is, or speaking out on certain issues. That's not the only work that's being done. There's a lot of work, and very important work, that has been done by loudmouth people, or people who are very quiet, and they do have times when they are loud too. So that is a little bit confusing. So there's times when they do their work, and when they're doing the real work. So we just have to get by and support them. They shouldn't have to find us. We should find them.
Now, I'll be honest.
I've been a member since I was.
Money makes more money than labor. So you gotta make money to make money.
This doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about, sir. Respectfully, it doesn't. Nothing to do with what we're talking about.
It does.
Let that man speak. He raised his nieces and nephews and put them through college. Let that man speak.
I'll go after
that. I tell him all the time. Yeah. Money makes more money than labor. That is true. Regardless how you think about it.
You're wrong for that.
That is true. There is no point of labor if you could use money to make money.
I'm going to follow up on what Quinn was saying. I don't know I'm not as in depth with the NAACP. I know they're good, but I know more of the National Urban League because I had one of my family members. We actually interviewed her here on the app a year or two ago in one of my spaces. She's since retired from her position in the National Urban League. They do a lot of good in their respective chapters. My aunt, who was the CEO of the chapter in her major city, she instituted a shoe program for the youth, for not just African American youth, but she opened it up to anyone who was in need. Especially in this time of going back to school, making sure that kids from families of less means had all that they needed. They have a youth program where they're getting youth involved. In her chapter, or I keep saying her chapter, she's in her former chapter, they have financial literacy programs. They have helped young people, especially young black people, take one foot into home ownership and that first step into wealth building that has so often passed us by because of redlining and other things of that nature that have held us back as a community. So this is something that I recognize my own biases because this is something that I've grown up with within my own family structure. But I know that's not available to all. But they're just looking. I encourage. I was about to say open up the yellow pages, but Google your own respective city. If there isn't a chapter within your own city, see if there's one nearby. Mark Morales, the head of the overall National Urban League, they have something going on. I think by the end of this week in Harlem with Right, Wrong, or Indifferent with Al Sharpton and Martin Luther King III. If you get on the email or if you become a member, you're privy to this information. And that's just to anyone.
Brian, open up the yellow page.
I had a question. I had a question to Dr. AG.
Good to see you.
Dr. AG, do you believe that those colleges don't have chapters because majority of people that are there are white?
I think that's some of it, yeah. Because the student organizations can only be founded by students. So, I'll say that anyway. Yeah, student organization.
Yeah, I'm asking because I know UH has a chapter, so we know UH is majority Black and Hispanic from college.
And a lot of the schools that have them, the chapters are older, and the students have just carried it. So there was a school actually in Indiana that they were like revitalizing theirs. They were bringing theirs back. This was like maybe 10, 15 years ago. They were bringing theirs back because it had languished, and they were renewing it. And so there is a resurgence of it. But yeah, that's why it's the student population. And different universities have different rules for how to form student organizations, but at most universities, you can form a student organization with as little as 5 people. It doesn't take a lot.
My high school had a chapter. I was a part of it. We were paying dues with the national chapter since I was a senior in high school.
So basically, are y'all here or what happened? Yeah, we're here, Brooklyn. Okay, so basically, it would take for the kid to want to be involved, but then it will also take for the parent to, kind of encourage them to be involved in something like that. So if that's not happening, then correct, and you would also have to encourage your child probably to go to a school that has, more of the black community.
But they
The majority of the black community.
But they got local chapters outside of college.
Oh, of course.
You can do it outside of college.
But I believe that it's also the parent encouraging the child. The child will
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like it would probably be based on the parents' involvement. So it's like a trickle down. If you're not involved, if you're not really telling your kids, you're not pro-black with your kids, then your kids ain't pro-black either.
That's
Yeah.
true. Like, but I was looking at this scenario because earlier you're asking her. I thought that initially because UCLA only has like 5 to 6% black, right? So I figured that must be why they don't have a formal NAACP chapter, right? But then I started doing my research, and there are a lot of HBCUs that don't have a formal NAACP chapter. So it's not just a percentage, right? That's not it. They have to. It's usually student initiated. And if the students aren't, like you said, being parented in that way, or they don't have mentors or affiliates that are moving in that direction to kind of motivate them to organize and seek out formal affiliation with the NAACP, it doesn't happen. It's usually student initiated. It doesn't matter if it's, like Dr. AG said, 4 or 5 students. It doesn't matter. As long as they initiate it and formally affiliate, you're there, right? But they're just not being motivated to do so, or they're joining other groups and they just have other focuses. And that's more the problem than the amount of black students that are there.
And honestly, being uninformed just really can't be an excuse, especially as a black person. I feel like what'd you say?
I just said, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So it's like, I don't feel like you people should have to be motivated. Like, you should want to do this. Like, you see how that black people have certain issues in this country, brown people have certain issues, so that should motivate you. But I feel like we debilitate young people by, saying things like this. They don't know, so help them. Like, pass it down. Like you said, information just does not fall out the air. You got it. Any information, even information on Instagram, you still got to go get it. You have to reach for it, and if you want to verify it, you have to research it further. So I think that's kind of our problem, is that we are so oh, it's not right here, in front of me. So they don't know about it. It's like, what? I don't even know that type of thought process. Go out and get it, find out somebody doing it.
And I think this is one of the things I've recognized, because being 76, I've now taught several generations, and these 18, I would say these 18 to 24-year-olds and other people thereabout, but for that particular demographic, they are some of the most uninformed, claiming having access to information people I have ever met. They have access to more information than even I could have imagined accessing, and without doing any work. They don't have to leave their homes, right? They don't even have to be home. They could be in a public restroom in McDonald's and access information. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, and I, as a Gen Xer, I think Gen X has to take responsibility for the poor education of their children, the poor foundation building and rooting their children in a certain cultural politic and a certain black politic.
Amen.
These people run around here talking all this craziness about black people, about black. It is no wonder that because they disseminate this information so widely that we are in the state that we are in. So yes, it is the parents. You have to get your kid anchored in the tradition and encourage your child to work, to create and continue the Black Project, which is access to the franchise and the privileges and rights of citizenship for everyone. And if you're not doing it, your kid's not going to do it either. And your kid gonna find kids who ain't doing it. and then we gonna be fucked up sideways in the world.
You mean just like we are now, Dr. AJ? You talking about now?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.